It is during the period of early medieval Ireland, more specifically the Fenian cycle, that a band of brave and capable warriors, called the Knights of Fianna, serve Ireland's High King. At the same time, a man by the name of Donn, the Dark One, lives as a god of the dead. Donn becomes the father of a child, Diarmuid Odine, and entrusts the child's care to Angus Og, a member of the Tuatha De Danann, a god of love, youth, and poetic inspiration. Thus, the young Diarmuid is raised by Angus as a foster father. While Donn does not raise his own son, he bears resentment to Diarmuid's stepbrother, Congus, born of the same mother with a different man. One day, Donn goes out of his way to accompany Congus into the wild. Frightened by the appearance of a wild animal, Congus runs between Donn's legs to hide, as he was of very large stature. With Donn's resentment at its peak, he takes this opportunity to squeeze his legs together and crush the poor boy dead. Congus's father, Rock, discovers his son's fractured corpse and weeps until becoming enraged at his killer. Not wanting his child to die in vain, Rock conducts a magic ceremony to resurrect Congus, reincarnating him into the form of a boar, more specifically, a phantasmal beast known as the Demon Boar. Rock now harbors his own resentment, one towards Donn's son Diarmuid, and intends to have him killed. Rock places a geas on the boar to seek out and end Diarmuid's life before sending it out into the wild. Despite this, Diarmuid grows up to be a remarkable fighter. During a night's hunt, he comes across a gorgeous, mysterious woman he feels is the personification of youth. They sleep together, after which the woman plants a magical spot upon him, a mole beneath his right eye, that supernaturally charms other women into loving him. While this renders him even more popular with ladies, he instead devotes himself to his training, ultimately joining the Knights of Fianna under its current leader, Fionn McComhale. There, he develops a strong bond with Fionn, after single-handedly slaying 3,400 men in battle to save him and his knights. This feat ranks him as first knight, serving directly under his lord. Fully committed to knighthood, Diarmuid derives meaning and honor from his loyalty. Truly, this loyalty becomes the foundation for his happiness. For their deeds serving the High King, Cormac MacArt, the Knights of Fianna are showered in glorious praise. The great king himself offers his own daughter, Grania, known as the most beautiful woman in Ireland, to Fionn to marry. To celebrate their engagement, Cormac and the knights hold a great feast. Sitting on the stage with her fiancé, Grania finds her eyes fixated on a young man in the crowd, captivated by his presence. When she was of age 12, she had seen the same man with a mole beneath his eye, hurling with his friends, and has coveted him ever since. Surely, Diarmuid's love spot had charmed Grania beyond all rationality. Spotting him once again reawakens her compulsion toward him. Grania seeks him out in private and kisses him lustfully. Wishing to claim her as his own, she places upon Diarmuid a geas, forcing him to run away with her. Together they flee, knowing their love is a betrayal of Fionn's trust. Along the way, the two of them come across Angus Og, who warns them that they can never settle in a building, cave, or clearing with only one exit. Theirs will be a life of pursuit and struggle. In their flight, Fionn's forces relentlessly pursue them, each encounter ending in bloodshed. While Diarmuid is compelled by the geas to stay with Grania, he strives to maintain his loyalty to his lord by refusing to bed with her. Diarmuid strikes down any pursuers until he hears word that Fionn has decided to acknowledge their love. A marriage between Diarmuid and Grania is officially recognized, and Fionn concludes his pursuit by giving them land and a proper title. It appears that Diarmuid is accepted back as a subject able to redeem himself. As a sign of their friendship, Diarmuid and Fionn venture into the wilderness to hunt. Their hunt goes smoothly until they encounter the demon boar created long ago to seek revenge. The beast is horrifically dangerous, able to devour not only meat, but also armor and even magic runes. Its overwhelming strength poses a threat even to dragons. While Diarmuid valiantly challenges the beast, he is unable to win unscathed and receives a fatal wound from the boar's fangs. He hits the ground, too weak to push on. Fortunately, Fionn possesses a unique talent that allows him to transform ordinary spring water into healing water. Fionn walks mere steps to the nearest source of fresh water. He gathers what he needs, but suddenly trips, spilling the water on his way back. He makes a second attempt, only to spill it once again. Tauntingly, he goes for a third, this time making it back with the medicine intact. Yet, there is hesitation. Suddenly, Fionn denies Diarmuid the medicine, instead confirming, "Did you believe I had forgotten what happened with Granier?" Fionn takes his revenge on Diarmuid by leaving him to die amidst a lush field. This death is tainted with regret, his sobering failure as a knight to remain loyal to his lord. He carries this failure, along with a desire for redemption, as his legend is recorded into the Throne of Heroes. In the modern era, the renowned magus Cainith El Malloy Archibald and Solau Nuada Re Sofitia Ri, two mages of the association, are strategically engaged. Their marriage is not one of affection, but rather political necessity. Regardless, the two team up to participate in the Fourth Holy Grail War by summoning Diarmuid as a heroic spirit of the Lancer class. Their arrangement is unique in that Solau provides Diarmuid mana, while Cainith holds his command seals. For Diarmuid, simply being summoned is a blessing in itself, granting him a second chance to establish and maintain loyalty to his new master. Sadly, their union is toxic, a devastating triangle of conflict. When confronting opponents in the war, Diarmuid insists on fighting according to honor, wishing to fight servants, such as Artoria, in fair, one-on-one duels. And yet, Cainith forces him into underhanded tactics in order to win. In battle, Diarmuid wields two spears of differing lengths, each with their own magical attributes. The first, Gay Diarg, the Crimson Rose of Exorcism, is a red spear capable of penetrating mana. It was given to him by Angus Og. His other spear is Gay Bode, the Yellow Rose of Mortality, with the power of preventing its victims' wounds from healing. This spear was given to him by Manon MacLear, the King of Fairies. He has keen insights while fighting, allowing him to lure Artoria into a trap. He convinces her that her magical armor is useless against him, taking advantage of her vulnerability to land an unhealable strike on her wrist. While he is confident in defeating Artoria in their duel, he refuses to target her when other servants get involved, and is ultimately forced via command seal to obey. Cainith finds Diarmuid's honor and pride disrespectful, placing an inherent contradiction between Diarmuid's honor and his loyalty. In turn, Solau ridicules Cainith for his cowardice, whilst Cainith suspects that Diarmuid is intentionally manipulating her. He can easily see that Solau is hopelessly under the charm of Diarmuid's mole, and is ever hesitant when dealing with the two of them. Their chemistry takes a turn for the worse when Cainith's magic circuits are permanently damaged in a fight with Kiritsugu Emiya, having taken a direct hit from one of his origin bullets. While heavily disabled on an operating cart, Cainith is threatened by Solau to relinquish his command seals onto her, else she murder him in his vulnerable state. Of course, Solau is overjoyed, now being Diarmuid's direct servant. She bids him to return to battle, but is denied when he asserts that, even without command seals, Cainith is still his master. Ultimately, Solau is only able to win Diarmuid's loyalty after assuring him that she is merely acting on Cainith's behalf. To counter this, she intends to use one of her command seals to force Diarmuid to reciprocate her love. Before that, however, the Grail War's masters and servants decide to team up in defeating the renegade caster and his master Ryonosuke. During the fight, it becomes evident that Artoria can defeat Caster if she makes use of her noble phantasm, but is unable to do so with the injury received from Gay Bode. So that Artoria can unleash Excalibur, Diarmuid releases the curse of her wound by breaking his spear and allowing her to heal. Diarmuid refuses to allow Solau near the battlefield as a product of his code of honor. Yet, this leaves her unprotected when Kiritsugu's partner, Maya, assaults her in isolation. Maya severs Solau's arm to prevent her from summoning Diarmuid and takes her hostage to draw out Kainith. In a final encounter, Diarmuid and Artoria resume their honorable duel, unaware that Kiritsugu is interfering from the shadows and forces him into an agreement on one end. Kiritsugu vows not to harm Kainith or Solau, in exchange for Kainith forcing Diarmuid to commit suicide. Backed into a corner, Kainith accepts the agreement, using a command seal to force Diarmuid into driving Gay Diarg into his chest. Upon realizing he has been betrayed by his own master, despite his constant loyalty, Diarmuid violently curses everyone present for denying him his only wish. With a devilish glare of hatred, Diarmuid dies, without experiencing the bond of loyalty he had coveted. To add to the betrayal, Kiritsugu cheats on his side of the agreement by allowing not himself but Maya to open fire on Kainith and Solau, killing both servant and master. In truth, Diarmuid could have certainly won the Grail War if he had a more cooperative master. Instead, his aspirations of honor and loyalty are stomped upon by those coveting the Grail for themselves. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then go check out some of my other lore videos. It's my goal to make one of these for virtually every servant in the Nasuverse, and I would appreciate your support through that journey. The best way would be to become a patron of the channel. We offer different reward tiers, ranging from early access to the chance to suggest your very own video. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to OtakuDaiKun for more anime lists, reviews, discussions, lore videos, let's plays, and the holy waifu wars. Until next time, celebrate your fandom.